welcome to Good Morning Marketers. My name is Noel Pennyman. I'm part of the public relations team, and with me today is Melanie Eierman, also part of the PR team. And today we're going to be talking about social media management and editorial calendars and why it's so important to have an editorial calendar. And Mel, I think we all have our personal preferences of managing an editorial calendar. What for you think should be the things that you cover in an editorial calendar?
Well, what a lot of people don't realize is they kind of already have their calendar written. If they would just go ahead and look at what they've already planned out for other strategies, such as marketing or PR, things of that nature. Really what you need to include is any certain campaign you may have going on at that time. I mean, one of the main reasons why we have social media under the PR umbrella is because we kind of have a handle on what's going on with each of our clients and what's in the news, what we know they're going to be pushing out. So it's good to have that kind of information when you're trying to just figure out what you want to put in a social media calendar. In addition to that, any events coming up, you're going to want to draw attention to those and help promote those. Any campaigns, like we mentioned before, I mean, those are just kind of the key elements to begin with.
Yeah, I would agree. When people, they're doing their editorial calendar, they get so overwhelmed by what they have to do. But like you said, if you just look at the schedule that you have and all the events, fundraisers, polls, anything like that, that's there for you. So, and then I think one of the other components you have to focus on is how often you want to post. And my personal opinion is that you shouldn't be posting more than you eat. You shouldn't be constantly updating people. And that varies between, especially with Twitter and Facebook, those are going to be a little bit differently, but I still think you should have some kind of structure of how often you post.
I agree that you should definitely have some kind of structure. As far as how many times you eat, I mean, you might eat 3 times a day, someone else might eat 6 times a day. So depending on that, I'm not sure that's the best strategy, just because, I mean, there's a lot of things that might be going on. Some days you're going to have very slow news days and you're actually searching for what am I going to post today, which also brings in that editorial calendar, why that's so helpful. But at the same time, some days people are going to be engaging with your brand more often than others, and you want to make sure that you're not being like, oh my gosh, I already posted 4 times today, so I can't respond to that person. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to keep engaging, and if there's news being pushed out that you didn't include in that day, you weren't anticipating, you don't want to wait 2 or 3 days because you think you've already posted. You want to go and get that out before it's old news, because you want to kind of be the leader in your brand or industry. So it really just kind of depends on what's going on around your brand.
And I think you brought up a good point that you have to make room for, those surprises, those news stories that may come out, unfortunately any crises that may happen, and then you don't want to go overboard with your editorial calendar and, plan to respond to everyone. You just kind of have that in the back of the mind that you need to be responsive, you need to be engaging, but that's not something that you need to have in your editorial calendar as well.
No, but like you said, you're going to have to be flexible. And at the same time, what you're posting on these channels, you want to make sure you're not repeating yourself over all these channels as well, because you want to draw attention to each channel. You want new Facebook followers, you want Twitter followers, you want people to be watching your YouTube channel, wherever you happen to be in the social media space, reading your blog, on your website, because you want to drive people back to your website at times too. So you do have to be careful when you're creating that editorial calendar to make sure that you have a plan for each social media tool.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thanks, Mel, and thank you again for joining us, and thank you for watching.
If we had like an old desk that we used to sit in,
yes,
like,
and like the big glasses,
with the little pencil holder.
Yes.
Can I be the teacher?
Yes.
You can do it.
Okay, we gotta get it done. Okay. It boggles my mind how you're so old school with your humor.
You think I'm old school humor?
Well, because you did like, look who's 40. Oh, yeah.